I've been using a glass pad for a couple of weeks, and it's safe to say that I really enjoy using it to play Overwatch 2, which I am spending the majority of my time with. And it's probably one of the best purchases I have made, especially coming from a guy who has questionable financial decisions. This is coming from a Razer Gigantus V2 user who has been using the mousepad for like 2 years. It is extremely dirty, just like as goes there, mostly because I'm too lazy to clean it since the day I purchased the pad. But yeah, despite me glazing on this glass pad a lot, this pad is definitely not for like everybody. So in this video, I'll be splitting between two parts. One, a short review of the glass pad itself, and second, what are my thoughts and what kind of games will benefit from it. So first of all, let's start off with the main pad itself. Disclaimer, I am not affiliated or sponsored by Uncle Panda. I bought this with my own money, so all of the things I've said in this video are my own opinions. Okay, so this is the Uncle Panda Blue SP, so it costs around $60 US. Basically the same mousepad as the Uncle Panda Blues, except it comes in a different color variation. So basics of the glass packs include width in 450mm and length in 400mm, which is like normal for the majority of the mousepads that you can find in the market. It has a rounded corner and smooth edges to prevent it from cutting your arm. Base itself has a full silicone base that covers the bottom of the glass pad to avoid like any kind of slips. The material itself uses a type of a control, so it has like a slack texture on the surface and has a low dynamic aesthetic friction whenever you guide. So like most glass pads, the Uncle Panda Blue SP is quite durable, so I'm pretty sure you can't really break it easily, even if you have like an angle issue. The design itself is pretty much subjective. If you like anime stuff on it, you definitely like this pad. If you don't, maybe not. I personally don't mind it. In fact, I really like the anime artwork on any kind of mousepads. So besides that, this mousepad comes with a microfiber cloth to clean the pad, some stickers, some papers, and yeah, that's it. But yeah, it is a great budget glass pad if you're looking to buy one without spending too much money for a wall hack or Yuki aims. The other alternatives I could think of is the Tekusai Singularity glass pad, which is pretty much the similar type of glass pad as this. The last time I checked it, it is not available for the market anymore, so you might need to delve into the mouse market for a used one. Another one would be the Talon Games Ultra Pad. You can choose like 3 different variants: white, lion, or Nagisa. I think the biggest factor that you might want to consider getting this over the Uncle Panda Blue SP is that it includes Kumo and Iwa dot skates, which is cool as you don't have to buy like additional mouse skates after like spending a hefty amount on a glass pad. Hortzy made a review about it, so you should check it out on his channel if you are considering getting this glass pad. My initial impression of this glass pad is that it is extremely fast and slippery because of its material. I mean, you know, it's glass, so no friction, no stopping power. So you are more likely to over-aim and under-aiming at a target since it's so fast. But what it does offer is the limitless movement. Since there is like no friction and stopping power, you can pretty much just track on the target much faster since there isn't like any kind of friction that might interfere with the mouse, creating like a sort of direct input, if you get what I mean. So additionally, it also allows like a faster initial flick movements to target enemies from a longer gap distance when you compare with the cloth pad. If you were to ask me like what kind of games that would definitely benefit with this, it's definitely towards tracking games like Apex Legends and Overwatch 2, or any kind of games that require like either long or short ETK, since you are likely to spend a lot of time tracking on the target instead of stop and shoot. Speaking of stop and shoot, if you plan on using this glass pad to play tactical shooters like Valorant or CS2, you might want to look elsewhere. So as I said previously, this pad does not have any stopping power, so micro adjustments are harder to control when you compare it with a cloth pad, as the pad feels more slippery and maybe like too fast for you, as it unable to land a shot quickly with a lack of stopping power. So that being said though, it is not impossible to use this pad for tactical shooters, as Judgment has been using a glass mousepad for like a month on Valorant. And I also believe that Mei, a Japanese pro Valorant player for Detonation Focus Me, has been using Warhack SP004 as his primary mousepad. So yeah, if you're considering getting this for tech shooters, do make sure to practice a lot with this pad. Like again, you can consider getting a glass pad, but I think getting a control mouse pad for these kinds of games is a better option. So a great thing about this mousepad is that it stays consistent all of the time. Most cloth pads won't stay consistent long term, as it will just absorb all of your sweat, and you might have stained your cloth pads with water, food, or any kind of liquid. So unless you properly maintain it by cleaning maybe like in a couple of months when the mousepad starts to feel like very inconsistent and worn out, or you just go and replace it with another cloth pad for like a couple of years. So for glass pads, regardless if you just left it to accumulate dust, or you just smear it with water, food, or even just your sweat, a simple wipe with a microfiber cloth will bring it back to like a tip-top shape. But the only difference is that you can definitely feel the dust or debris on the glass pad. That you can definitely feel like you're scratching on the glass pad. In this case, the best thing you need to do is to wipe off the dust or debris using the provided or your own microfiber cloth before you play. But yeah, other than that, there are certain caveats that you need to know before you think of getting one. So first of all, your skin will stick on the pad frequently, especially during like a warmer or colder environment. So maybe on warmer days, you are likely to sweat a lot, which causes your arms to stick on it often. And also while on colder days, the glass pad becomes like an ice pack, so it makes like extremely uncomfortable for you to use. So any arm sleeves will do, even like a hoodie. But if your palm does get sweaty just like me, you could maybe consider getting an arm sleeve that wrap around the palm, like the Bossa ES arm sleeves or the Thailand Games arm sleeves if you're looking for a cheaper option. But I personally just use like a fingertip grip on my mouse most of the time, so it wasn't like a problem for me. But I'm still gonna use the arm sleeve often because of your palm here, around here, will definitely just stick on it often. But yeah, I do understand like it is kind of like extremely annoying to wear arm sleeves before you start grinding on whatever games you're good at. So it's definitely something to consider if you don't want to wear an arm sleeve while playing. So another thing is that the glass pads wear off your mouse skates faster than a cloth pad, as the friction grinds down the material. So maybe like a week or a month, you'll be forced to change it. As you can see in one of my clips, right, my mouse suddenly feels like extremely scratchy. So checking on the mouse skates, and it's pretty clear that the top part of the skates have been worn off with one side being flattened. So I replaced it with another 3 dot skates that included in my Westlab orange. But yeah, maybe when I use all of them, I'll probably just switch to something like an Ultra Glide Ice, RS2 or Obsidians. So maybe depending on like which game you're playing, you can either get like a speed, balance or control skates, as long as the product states that the skates can be used on glass pad. So for example, on this mouse that I'm using right now, I'm using the Westlab orange. So as you can see, like it's definitely like worn up a bit. It's just like it was flattened. So yeah, if you can live with these caveats, I think getting a glass pad is a pretty good investment, even if you are getting a budget glass pads like the Uncle Panda Blues. So it is definitely like a great addition if you play tracking games like Overwatch 2 and Apex Legends, but not really suitable for tactical shooters like Valorant, unless you take a lot of time to practice all those micro adjustments and know when to stop. But yeah, it is a pretty steep initial cost, even though it costs like $60 US. So in comparison, you could like buy an artisan cloth mouse pads at that price. But even then, you are unlikely to change your glass pads like 2 years or later, as it stays consistent for a long time, since it is so much easier to clean, and as long as you use like a microfiber cloth provided, or you just use your own to clean it regularly and change your mouse, and also change your mouse skates frequently. So in the end, if you are in the market of getting like a glass pad, I would definitely recommend giving a try on the glass pad and see if it will be like a game changer for you. So yeah, if you like it, you can definitely use it as your primary mouse pad, but if you don't, maybe you can consider just get another cloth pad instead. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.